BU 254 Advertising at SUNY Erie. This is going to be a series of videos that I'm going to make for you throughout the class. So you can download them and find them on my YouTube channel, which is Joan Bukowski. But they'll also be posted on the Blackboard site. Okay, so you'll see this at the beginning of each of the chapters, just to give you an idea about where we are. Sorry about that. Where we are in the book. And here we are, Chapter 1, Part 1, Advertising and Integrated Brand Promotion in Business and Society, just to give you an idea for where it fits in and what we're going to be talking about in each chapter. So just as a review, as you remember from Marketing 1, there are the 4 P's of marketing, which are the tactics that we use to achieve the 2 goals of marketing, which are creating value for customers and developing strong relationships with customers. In advertising, there are the 4 P's: product, price, place, promotion, also referred to as the marketing mix. And advertising falls into the 4th P, promotion, is one of the promotion tools. We're just going to be talking about advertising in this class. And you also may remember that the fundamental difference between advertising and public relations is that advertising is paid for. So think about that as we go through. The other thing, too, is that we talked a lot in Marketing 1 about IMC, Integrated Marketing Communications, and that's the idea that everything is focused on one message. Integrated brand promotion is an even higher level or further growth from integrated marketing communications. And one thing that's really changed that is this idea of new media, specifically technology with online technology, really. And we still have to use traditional media, such as radio, television, magazines, billboards, outdoor advertising, but digital has certainly become a huge part of it. So a lot of customers play a huge role in this, that they're very interested in mobile marketing with in terms of your cell phone and your laptop, cell phones and tablets. And as a consequence, businesses have responded by providing advertising opportunities through those platforms. Okay, so this is things that you're familiar with. The future is in digital new media as well as experiential media, meaning virtual media or interaction. It doesn't, as I said, it doesn't change the purpose of advertising. It just is another way to reach people. And also that people have become much more interested in brands. Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, brands people are really tied to. Kellogg's, Nabisco, that kind of thing. And Google has played a huge role in all of that because of the search methods. Okay, so there's paid mass-mediated attempt to persuade. So that is what advertising really is all about. And there are some essentials for advertising that we talked about. Paid, if a communication is not paid for, it's not advertising. Sometimes there are, you have a client or a sponsor company that pays for advertising. And mass-mediated is delivering through a medium designed to reach large numbers of people, usually electronically. And it's to persuade someone to do something, specifically to buy something or act on something. Okay, then there's distinctions within advertising. There's an advertisement, which is a specific message that you would see on a pop-up ad or on a skyscraper ad on the side of a page, or a banner ad on the top of the page, or even an ad in a magazine or magazine on television, radio, that kind of thing. Advertising campaign is all of the activities that work together as part of the advertising efforts. So the point of the moving from integrated marketing communications, which I mentioned before, to integrated brand promotion is using traditional and new media, and also providing coupons and premiums, event marketing, event sponsorship, marketing, social media, public relations. So it's the idea is to remind people of one brand, to keep people on top of it with one brand that they're specifically interested in. And they would purchase all the products with an effort to purchase all the products within that brand. Okay, so there are a variety of different tools that we use in integrated brand promotion: advertising, sales promotions, point of purchase materials, things that are right at the store or at the checkout when you either when you buy online or you buy actually at a store. Direct marketing, which we talked about in many of these things we talked about in BU 151, Marketing 1. Direct marketing, personal selling, when someone actually sells to sells to someone, a sales rep. Internet advertising, event sponsorship, or having some kind of experience that members can participate in, a run, a walk, a car race, something, a bike race. More integrated brand promotion tools, social networking and social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, people who write blogs, podcasting and smartphone messages, branded entertainment, any kind of outdoor signage. If you go to a big concert or a sporting event, you'll see outdoor signage, billboards, an area you see on buses or sides of subway cars. Public relations is also part of integrated brand promotions. Influencer marketing, which is this idea of getting opinion leaders to support a product. You see that a lot of that on Instagram, and corporate advertising. So advertising is a communication process. So the idea is that mass-mediated communication, it doesn't occur face-to-face, but through some sort of other medium. It could be, again, television, online, that kind of thing. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Oh, here we go. So you hopefully remember from your Marketing 1 class, the traditional, and also in other classes, traditional communication model, that there's a receiver and you get feedback from them, and how people receive something can be from a variety of different, how they receive it, what they see in the message can come from a variety of different influences. How they, through what lens they're viewing it. Could be their history with the product. It could be their history with the brand. It could be based on your personality. It could be your image of the advertiser, that kind of thing. Where you see the ad, the context of it, how people understand the ad, and then the meaning. There's some kind of meaning formed, and you hope that the meaning that there is received is the same as the meaning of the person who produced the ad. So again, some more terms. Audience is all individuals who receive the message, but the target audience are just the people who the organization wants to see the ad or thinks they'll buy the product. Sometimes it might change. Sometimes the person who is in the audience might turn into a target audience, but generally speaking, it's hard to, if you're doing mass media, it's hard to single out to do just to reach your target audience. And again, important to know that distinction between the two of those. Okay, so different audience categories. There's household consumers, people like you and me that buy things for their own personal use. Business organizations, it could be a bank, it could be an insurance company, it could be ECC, it could be any business, it could be Wegmans or Tops. Members of a trade channel, people as part of who help to get the product. People who are part of that P, the P for place or distribution, who help to get the product from one point to another. Professional organizations and professionals, physicians, attorneys, and government officials and employees also purchase items. So those are the different audience categories we'll focus on. All right, so thinking about it geographically, there's global advertising, that you use one ad worldwide with only minor changes. International advertising, that when you have a different advertising in different national markets outside of the brand market, so you might have maybe a little different ad for Canada and the United States and Mexico, but there'll be international advertising. More tweaking than global advertising. And then national advertising goes to all geographic areas of a single nation, so it would be the same ad across America, same ad across the United States. Okay, regional advertising. So one geographic area. It's not on a national scale. So it could be the Southwest. It could be the Southeast. It could be the Mid-Atlantic states. It could be New England, Great Lakes states. That would be considered more regional. And then local is in a single area. So just for Western New York, just for Northern Pennsylvania, just for Northern Virginia. And sometimes there's cooperative advertising that national companies and local merchants. So Wegmans might team up with, say, Scott paper towels to do an ad. Okay, so we want to think about advertising as part of the business process. And it does contribute to the marketing mix. As we said, it's the fourth P. It helps really is a very integral part in developing the brand and managing the brand. Helps to segment the market. We're going to talk about more about that. Differentiation. How is your product different from the other products, and where are you positioned? Are you a low cost provider, or your luxury position? Where are you? And it often also contributes to revenue and profit. And one key, very important key of advertising is that it's measurable. Okay, so again, role of advertising in the marketing mix. We talked about that already a little bit. Marketing is a process of planning and executing the conception, pricing, promotion, and distribution of ideas, goods, and services. And it's the idea is that you want to have some sort of exchange that fulfills the goals of the organization, but also meets the needs of the customer. So perceived brand value, we talked about that. The two goals of marketing are to create value for customers and build strong relationships. And we do that through the product, the distribution, or the place. Promotion, which includes advertising, also pricing. Okay, so let's talk about brand management a little bit. There's still a difference between information and persuasion. So information persuasion, it tells target audiences about the values a brand has, and then it tries to persuade them to buy it. It also might introduce new brands or brand extensions, adapting a existing brand for a new product area. For example, Kellogg's Special K line, they had cereal, now they have cereal bars, and they have smoothies and that kind of thing. M&Ms, they have straight M&Ms, and then they might have different flavors of M&Ms, or maybe they'll sell M&M cookies or whatever. So it's a way to introduce new brands or brand extensions. Okay. So you want to, you're really interested in building brand loyalty. Remember we talked about share of customer in Marketing 1, that you want to have people that only buy your brand, only wear Nike clothing or Under Armour, only shop at Wegmans, only buy Scott towels, that kind of thing. And then brand equity is essentially how much that brand is worth if you were to sell it. And you need to create some sort of image or meaning for a brand. So if you see, for example, Gucci, you think of one thing. If you see Porsche, you think of a definitely, a higher end brand. So you want to have some sort of association. Also, with advertising and brand management, besides having an immediate association, you can also build brand loyalty throughout the quote unquote the trade. And you can provide the trade with information about, sales training programs, collateral advertising materials, brochures, point of purchase displays, premiums, so t-shirts, bags, water bottles, that kind of thing. You can also help to increase web traffic on someone's page, on a retailer's page, and also build foot traffic for people who are actually going to the brick and mortar store. All right, so market segmentation is something that we talked about also in the first part of marketing. It's the idea of breaking down a large market, a heterogeneous market, into submarkets that are heterogeneous, meaning a heterogeneous market filled with different types of people, into a more homogeneous, which means it's more people who have similar characteristics and needs. And the advertising helps to come up with messages and campaigns that will appeal to one specific target. So men between the ages of 18 and 25, or parents between the ages of 36 and 42. And then find the appropriate media to send that message. So differentiation, as we talked about, it's a process of creating a perceived difference between a brand and its competition. It's based on what the consumer's perception is. So it can emphasize performance features, say it could gas mileage or safety records or something like that. roominess in a car, that kind of thing. Distinctive image for the brand, again, whether it be a low-cost provider or a luxury brand, and something that you really always link to the company's brand. So, BMW is the ultimate driving machine, or Geico talks about 15 minutes save you 15% or more. They have certain spokespeople, or types of, well, they have the gecko and certain types of ads. The girl from Progressive. All right, and then positioning is designing a brand to occupy a distinct and valued place in the consumer's mind. So, external position, how are you perceived relative to your competing brands? And then internally, how is it? What is your brand? What is this brand like as compared to other brands within your product mix? So, how is Acura different from Honda? How is Lexus different from Toyota? That kind of thing. And then repositioning. Sometimes because marketing changes occur in the marketing environment. Oftentimes you have to reposition a brand. All right, so contributing to revenue and profit generation. So it creates sales. It doesn't necessarily create revenue directly, but it will hopefully, the point is to create sales. And also you can, with the economies of scale, meaning the more you produce, the lower the cost unit. So it can, with the idea of inelasticity, we talked about elasticity. Also in Marketing 1, you also talk about economics, that will demand change based on price changes. So if the price goes up, will people still buy it? So types of advertising. We can talk about primary demand, so for an entire product category, or selective demand, but looking at a brand's unique benefits compared to the competition. So again, how is Tops different from Wegmans, or how are Pampers different than Love's? Okay, and then there are different types of advertising as well. Direct response advertising, so you immediate action, say on a television ad or something like that. And delayed responses, you'll see it now, but then maybe within the next week, 10 days, 6 months, you'll go and buy something. Okay, and there's corporate brand advertising. So a corporation might advertise for all of their products, say Procter & Gamble, or Purdue Chicken, or Ocean Spray, that kind of thing. And then brand advertising, a particular brand within the organization. So Toyota could advertise for all of Toyota, but then a brand advertising would be for the Lexus or the Toyota. So advertising too, just a little bigger portion of it. It does impact our gross domestic product, which could, because it could increase demand within our country, and it also helps to stimulate competition. And competition is good because the more competitors there are on the market, oftentimes the price goes down. Then also the quality can improve as well. So it also has an effect on pricing. The price could go up because of price could go up because of costs of advertising. But could also have a very positive effect on value, is that it would add value to the customer just because they know it's got such a great brand name, or because it's recognized as a higher end product, and people feel better about it. It's this like a symbolic value in terms of people have better feelings about the brand, or also social meaning it could have in terms of conspicuous consumption, that people could be impressed because of a type of purse that you carry, or a type of shoe that you're wearing. All right, so just to wrap up for Chapter 1, so we went from advertising to integrated marketing communications, which we talked about in the beginning. Now it's integrated brand promotion, and it's really it's one of the many ways that a company can get their information about a brand out, and through advertising is one method. There's all those other ones we talked about, direct selling and promotion and public relations and that kind of thing. So you want to use a variety of different tools, but it's important for this class, for our reason for our purposes in this class is that we're just focusing on brand promotion in terms of its relationship with advertising. Okay, so that wraps up chapter 1, and we'll see you back here for chapter 2.